The House will come to order. Members, please register. Have all members registered? A quorum is present. The House and gallery will please rise for the invocation, which will be offered by Pastor Chris Bauer from West Isle Presbyterian Church in Galveston, sponsored by the Honorable Terry Leo Wilson of Galveston County.
Good morning. Let us pray. O Lord our God, if we ever needed your wisdom and guidance, it is now. As those gathered here today begin their time filled with so many challenging opportunities, we ask that you will bless those who are chosen by the people of Texas, for you know them, their needs, their motives, their hopes, and their fears. Lord, put your arm around them to give them strength, and speak to them to give them wisdom greater than their own. May they hear your voice and seek your guidance. May they remember that you are concerned about what is said and done here, and may they have a clear conscience before you, that they need fear no human being. Bless each of us according to our deepest need and use us for your glory. I also pray for our speaker, Dustin Burrows, today, for his calling, his endeavors, his family, and for him as he leads these esteemed representatives. And as you, Lord, have brought me here today as a representative of our great Galveston County, I thank you especially for our Galveston County representatives, how they are genuinely mindful of their constituents, and for their thoughtful representation on our behalf. Heavenly Father, bless this assembly so that all they seek to achieve brings honor to you and health and wholeness to those they represent. We humbly ask all this in your great name. Amen.
The chair recognizes the Honorable Jeff Berry of Brazoria County to lead us in the pledges of allegiance to the United States and Texas flags.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Mr. Speaker.
Ms. Doorkeeper,
Mr. Speaker, I have a messenger from the Senate at the door of the House.
admit the messenger.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am directed by the Senate to inform the House that the Senate has taken the following action. The Senate...
The chair is pleased to recognize the Dr. Christine Wan from Houston as the Doctor of the Day. Members, join me in welcoming our Doctor of the Day. Mr. Guerin moves to defer the reading and referral of bills to the end of today's calendar. Is there objection? The chair hears none, and so ordered. Chair recognizes Mr. Hunter for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that the House grant permission for all committees and subcommittees to meet while the House is in session during the bill referral period until 2 p.m. Tuesday, March 11th, pursuant to their committee posting and recess motions.
All right, members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair has none, so ordered. The chair recognizes Ms. Thompson for a motion.
Mr. Speaker and members, I'd like to suspend all necessary rules so we can take up and consider Resolution 473.
Members, please take your conversations outside the rails. Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. 473 by Thompson, granting permission for the body of the Honorable Sylvester Turner to lie in honor in the Hall of House of Representatives on March 13th and 14th, 2025.
Chair recognizes Ms. Thompson to explain the resolution.
Mr. Speaker and members, this resolution is to give permission for the family to let the body of our former colleagues, the Honorable Sylvester Turner, to lie in state here in the House from March 13th, 2025 to March 14th, 2025. Move for adoption.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. This is a record vote required by the Constitution. We will give members an opportunity to get to their chairs to vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Representative Hunter voting aye. Show Representative Metcalf voting aye. There being 148 ayes and 0 nays, the resolution is adopted. Members, we have some memorial resolutions. If you will please take your seats. This is a Please, Suzanne. The chair recognizes Mr. Dutton for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. Today we honor, I'd like to have you join me in honoring the life and legacy of Isaac T. Bryant, who was a dedicated educator, attorney, and community leader in Houston. His lifelong commitment to education, service, and faith made a lasting impact on many lives. He grew up in Houston's 5th Ward and excelled at Wheatley High School. He graduated cum laude from Howard University. He was a respected teacher for over 30 years. He taught government and economics at Phyllis Wheatley and Stephen F. Austin High Schools. He earned a law degree from Texas Southern from the South Texas College of Law in 1977. He was a devoted member of the Mount Vernon United Methodist Church and a talented singer in the Bryant Singers Gospel Group. Isaac Bryant's legacy lives on through his students, his family, and the community. Today, I'd like to ask you to join me in memory today and extend our deepest condolences to his loved ones. And I ask you to recognize that, members. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Members, will you please rise and join me in a moment of silence? Thank you, members. The chair recognizes Ms. Leo Wilson for a recognition.
Members, today we are honored to welcome the family of a true Galvestonian, a devoted public servant, and a beloved husband, father, and grandfather, John Lee Sullivan. Joining us in the gallery today are his wife, Cindy, his daughter, Elizabeth Sullivan Hanton, and his son, Rocky Sullivan. John was a 5th-generation Galvestonian whose legacy was woven into the very fabric of our coastal community. From his service on the Galveston City Council to his leadership in real estate and land development, he helped shape the city he so deeply loved. His work with the Texas General Land Office and the Texas Veterans Land Board reflected his dedication to our state, while his passion for ranching connected him to the Texas proud agricultural heritage. Beyond his many accomplishments, John was a man of strong faith, a devoted family man, and a respected leader whose impact will be felt for generations to come. Today, we recognize and celebrate his remarkable life, and we extend our deepest condolences to his loved ones. To the Sullivan family, Cindy, Elizabeth, and Rocky, we are grateful for your presence here today as we honor John's memory and his contributions to the great state of Texas. Members, please join me in welcoming the family of John Lee Sullivan.
we do Leo Wilson again for the Galveston Regional Chamber? All right. Christina Morales? All right. Hey, Tony. Only if you want to. I don't think they're votes. Okay. Got it. Yeah, just get a sheet. The chair recognizes Ms. Morales of Harris for recognition.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker and members. Today is a very, very important day, and today we are going to honor the Chicano Squad of Houston, a group of officers who changed law enforcement in Texas. So on the dais here today behind me are Jose Silvera Jr., Raymond Gonzalez, Ciso Mosqueda, and Yupi Hernandez, men who stepped up when their community needed them. In 1979, when violent crimes against Latinos were going unsolved, these officers were chosen to investigate. And listen, they had no formal investigative training, but they had something even more important. They spoke Spanish. That ability allowed them to gain trust and break barriers and solve cases that others had ignored for too long. But it wasn't just about language, it was about determination and resilience. They were committed to proving themselves, working tirelessly to bring justice to a community that had been left behind. Their efforts led to an astounding 91% clearance rate in their first year alone. But their dedication came at a cost. Many sacrificed time with their family, working long hours to solve cases and build trust. And yet for years, their story was forgotten, almost lost to history. These humble men never saw themselves as extraordinary. It wasn't until one of our very few Latino Houston City Council members decided to recognize them at City Council under the leadership of then Mayor and recently passed Congressman Sylvester Turner, that they received a proclamation 40 years after the first day of duty. Today, their contributions are permanently recognized in the Houston Police Department History Museum. But their impact doesn't stop there. Their visibility and contributions help change the diversity of the Houston Police Department itself. Because of them, HPD now better reflects the demographics of our city, and many Latinos were inspired to join the police force. They not only solve crimes, they help calm tensions between the Latino community and the police, building a foundation of trust that continues today. Thanks to the efforts of many, including Jose Silvera's son, Sergio, their story is now being told through a documentary, the Chicano Squad, and a podcast. And I want to ask the family members to stand. I know several of you have family members. Please stand. So members, you can find more information on your desks. I encourage everyone to please watch the documentary. Please join me in recognizing these extraordinary officers and their lasting impact on Texas history. Gracias.
Mr. Ramos, for what purpose?
Mr. Speaker, I move that the comments by Rep. Morales be reduced to writing and placed in the journal.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair is none so ordered. Members, please excuse Mr. Tinderholt because of important business on the district. A motion of Mr. Alcott. Is there any objection? Chair is none so ordered. The chair recognizes Ms. Howard for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I especially want to invite all women to come up here, but men, you're welcome to join us as well. Today, I'm proud to join the Texas Women's Foundation in celebrating International Women's Day. The purpose of this day is to recognize the achievements, experiences, and lives of women around the world. The 89th legislature made history on opening day when we swore in a historic number of female legislators. We now have 61 women in the Texas legislature. 46 of whom serve in the Texas House. And I am proud to be a part of this group of trailblazers. The theme for this year's International Women's Day is For All Women and Girls, Rights, Equality, Empowerment. And the Texas Women's Foundation certainly embodies this message. For nearly 4 decades, this foundation has demonstrated a steadfast commitment to supporting women, girls, and families across the Lone Star State. Since their founding in 1985, the Texas Women's Foundation has expanded their focus statewide, investing $85 million in research, advocacy, grant-making, and leadership development to create an equitable society in which women and girls can fully participate. Through their economic security initiatives and investments in lifestyle leadership development, they have impacted more than 90,000 women, girls, and families statewide. Today, we have members of the Texas Women's Foundation up on our dais, including Karen White, President and CEO. We also have Mary Valadez, Candace Hill, Lisa Griffin, and Kristen Centers. Would you please join me in welcoming them to their Texas House? Thank you, members.
This is a. Chair recognizes Mr. Lozano for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider House Resolution 63.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair is none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. 63 by Lozano, recognizing March 6, 2025 as Jim Wells County Day at the state capitol.
The chair recognizes Mr. Lozano to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I'm honored to be here today to celebrate Jim Wells County Day at the Capitol. Members, on the dais, we have Jim Wells County Judge Pete Trevino, Jim Wells County Commissioner George Aguilar, Jim Wells County Attorney Michael Guerra, and District Attorney Carlos Omar Garcia. Members, Jim Wells County and its county seat, Alice, Texas, are notable in Texas history, known as an oil boom town and home to Tejano music, and also to Box 13, which infamously got LBJ elected to the United States Senate. It's a beautiful community that's currently continuing to grow in terms of economic development. The future is very bright. And as many other areas in Texas need water, the city of Alice is pursuing desalination of groundwater, and it's going to provide a long resource for them in the future. Members, this beautiful county, Jim Wells County in Texas, is a beautiful part of the state. And I ask you to please join me in welcoming Jim Wells County to the Texas Capitol. Move adoption.
Members, the question occurs in the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Chair recognizes Mr. Guillen for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider House Resolution number 287, recognizing Sullivan City Day at the Capitol.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair is none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. 287 by Longoria recognizing March 6, 2025 as Sullivan City Day at the state capitol.
Chair recognizes Mr. Guillen to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I rise today on behalf of our friend, Representative Oscar Longoria, who had to step out on important business, to recognize a very special day for those of us in western Hidalgo County. It's Sullivan City Day at the Capitol. Founded in 1908, Sullivan City, also known as the City of Sunshine, was named after Captain Ed Sullivan, a local ranch owner. Beginning with an initial 250 residents, the population today is nearly 4,000 and growing. It's a city with a bright and sunny future. With us today on the dais is Mayor Alma D. Salinas, Councilman Ruben Villalon, Chief of Police Reynaldo Cortez, and City Manager Richard Osuna. We also have up in the gallery some of the members of the delegation. Would you all please stand as well? Members, please help me welcome our distinguished delegation from Sullivan City on Sullivan City Day at the Capitol with a big round of applause. Move adoption.
The question occurs in the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair is none. The resolution is adopted. Chair recognizes Ms. Leo Wilson for a recognition.
Members, I would like to recognize members of the Galveston Regional Chamber. Our chamber celebrated their 180th celebration this year, and I just want to thank the members up here on the dais, Gina Spagnola, our president, Keith Gray, one of our board members, and Jay Carnes, one of our board members. And Gina, I want you to look up at the lights in this chamber, the Texas lights. and you have been a bright and shining star throughout every hurricane, through the COVID pandemic. You have been a champion at keeping our small businesses alive and going, and have worked countless hours. So for me personally to you, I would like to award you the Texas Star. Mr. Speaker.
Leo Wilson for a motion.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider House Resolution 108.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair is none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. 108 by Leo Wilson, recognizing March 6, 2025 as Galveston County Day at the state capitol.
Chair recognizes Ms. Leo Wilson to explain the resolution.
Members, Dr. Bonin and I are truly honored to welcome Galveston County to their Texas capital as we celebrate Galveston County Day. Today, we recognize the rich history, vibrant culture, and economic contributions of the great people of Galveston County. Galveston County is the cornerstone of Texas history, home to the birthplace of Juneteenth, a hub for trade and commerce, and a leader in medical and marine research. From the historic Strand District to the world-class Port of Galveston, to our thriving petrochemical industry and higher education institutions, Galveston County is a beacon of prosperity and resilience. And speaking of resilience, I do want to take a moment again to recognize our Galveston Regional Chamber. It is the oldest continuous chamber in operation in Texas. It has played an instrumental role in shaping our region's economy under the direction of our president, Gina Spagnola, with the support of her dedicated board members, Jay Carnes, Keith Sahar, Bix Rathburn, and Keith Gray, just to name a few, to advocate for business growth and community success. The recent Galveston Island Country Music Fest is just another testament to bringing people together and supporting local enterprises. Galveston County is just not the hub for commerce and tourism, but also for civic leadership and community engagement. The city of Lamarck was recently recognized as an All-American City. This truly is a prestigious honor awarded by the National Civics League, and it's congratulations to that city for a well-deserved recognition. Please stand and be recognized. We were also privileged this morning to have Pastor Chris Bauer of West Isle Presbyterian Church join us earlier as our pastor of the day. Thank you, Pastor Bauer, for your inspirational words and for leading Texas in prayer as we conduct the work of the people of Texas. And let's not forget our outstanding honorary pages from Galveston County today, Waylon Stover and Alyssa McClendon from Galveston. It's always encouraging to see young leaders engaging in the legislative process, and we are very grateful for their service. I don't know where my pages are, but they're somewhere around here. Today is a celebration of Galveston County's past, present, and future. From its rich history and economic contributions to its strong community spirit, this region is a testament to the best of Texas. Thank you all so much for being here, for your commitment to the community, and for making Galveston County Day at the Capitol truly a special occasion. Let's give a big round of applause to Galveston County. Mr. Speaker, I move adoption.
Members, the question occurs in the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Mr. Vasut moves to add all members' names to the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. So ordered.
The chair recognizes Mr. Lujan for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I want to bring your attention to a group in the gallery. Methodist Healthcare Ministries of South Texas is here today celebrating their 30th anniversary. Where are they at?
South Gallery.
All right, there they are, right there.
The South Gallery.
Methodist Healthcare System serves as the largest healthcare provider in San Antonio and 26 surrounding counties, overseeing operations at numerous specialized area hospitals. San Antonio and all of Bexar County is grateful for the impressive and critical work you are doing each and every day for our community. Members, please join me in celebrating this impressive achievement. Thank you all for being here today, and welcome to your Texas State Capitol. Thank you.
The chair recognizes Mr. Martinez Fisher.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. Representative Lujan said it best, but what people don't know about the healthcare ministry is while it's in San Antonio, its mission is much bigger. In South Texas, it is a partnership where 50% of the proceeds from the healthcare system go back into the community. This is the board of directors, this is the ministry that does that to fund healthy neighborhoods, sustainability, community investment. So we want to thank them for their work, not just in San Antonio, but throughout the state, especially in South Texas. Thank you.
The chair recognizes Mr. Lujan for a motion.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend the rules to take up and consider H.R. 438.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there objection? The chair hears none and the rules are suspended. The following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. 438 by Lujan, recognizing March 7, 2025 as Somerset Day at the State Capitol.
The chair recognizes Mr. Lujan to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, today we are celebrating Somerset, Texas Day at the State Capitol. Where is Somerset? Located in southwest Bexar County and in the heart of House District 118, Somerset is a town built on resilience, hard work, and community spirit. Somerset is a place where neighbors support one another and where tradition runs deep and where the Texas spirit shines. Thank you all for being here today, and please help me extend a warm Texas welcome to this wonderful group.
Where are they?
Mr. Speaker, I move passage.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there objection? The chair hears none and the resolution is adopted. The chair recognizes Ms. Harris Davila for a motion.
Mr. Speaker, members, I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider House Resolution 452.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there objection? The chair hears none and the rules are suspended. The following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. 452 by Button, recognizing March 8, 2025 as International Women's Day.
The chair recognizes Ms. Harris Davila to explain the resolution.
Mr. Speaker, members, today I'm honored to lay out House Resolution 452, recognizing International Women's Day. And so I'd invite all the women in the chamber, if you want to come up here. This is the resolution. Yes, that does deserve an applause. So today we want to take the time to recognize the many amazing women who have paved the way for all of us to be here and have the rights and the freedoms that we have today. And I want to say two things. First, I just want us to recognize that we are so blessed to be women in America. We have so many freedoms that I think we take for granted as women living in America that other women are struggling with across the world. I mean, there are women who still can't vote, can't drive, young women even, 9, 13 years old, forced to marry somebody 60 years old. I mean, we are so blessed, and that would not have happened if it weren't for amazing women in American history that paved the way for us to be here. And number two, I know that we all have amazing women in our past or currently today that have allowed all of us to be here. My mom, my grandmothers, my sisters, my nieces. And so right now, I want us all to think about those women that have done so much for all of us in our lives. And would you please join me in applauding those women who have done so much for all of us? And I'm going to hand it over to a few of our incredible female members to say a few words.
The chair recognizes Ms. Fairley.
Speakers, members, today we honor the remarkable contributions that women have made throughout history. As the youngest member in the Texas House, I am so proud to represent a generation that has more opportunity and freedom than ever before. I want to thank both the women in this chamber and also outside of this chamber that have laid the groundwork so that we can be here today, and I look forward to continuing supporting and encouraging women in Texas. Thank you.
The chair recognizes Ms. Ordaz.
It's all good. It's all good, guys. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, Representative Harris and Representative Chairwoman Angie Button, for putting this resolution forward today. On this International Women's Day, it's important to not only highlight the great work of the wonderful women in this great state, but it's also important to recognize the significant barriers women continue to face in our workforce, in particular because of the lack of accessible and affordable childcare. The data is startling. Women are being forced to leave the workforce because they cannot afford to find reliable childcare. Our great state cannot continue to remain the economic powerhouse as it is if we do not address childcare needs. So I'm thankful to the many women here that are continuing to fight for this great cause, thankful to our speaker, this chamber, and the many advocates that recognize the valuable impact women make on our economy and are working to ensure we give women the tools they need to have successful families and be productive members of our workforce. Thank you all.
The chair recognizes Ms. Richardson.
Thank you, Chairman, House members, and special guests in our gallery. As I stand before you today, we've all heard that the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. And I want to recall that it's the women, it's the moms in our lives who pass on our spiritual heritage, that they are the ones who give us our value set, that bring us forward today, and then it's our responsibility to pass it on to future generations. So I thank all of the women that have brought us thus far and that have continued to pass on our heritage, our spiritual heritage, to give us the rights and benefits that we have today. Thank you.
The chair recognizes Ms. Cole.
One of, I think, all of but my personal heroes was Barbara Jordan. And she said, the greatest American danger is that we become a collection of special groups. Individual against individual, city against suburb, and region against region. We must work together to make a greater America. And I think there is no better time than International Women's Day to recognize the work that women all over the world have done in leadership to make for a better nation, country, and world. Thank you.
Beautifully said.
And one more thing that I wanted to recognize, I want to recognize all the new women who are in the House as a freshman. So I would like to applaud y'all. And I move passage.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there objection? The chair hears none, and the resolution is adopted. Ms. Plesa moves to add all members' names. Is there objection? The chair hears none, so ordered. The chair recognizes Mr. Bumgarner for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, members. Today I want to introduce some wonderful folks from my hometown. If you'd please stand. So before I introduce them, I want to talk about Flower Mound, Texas for just a little bit. Flower Mound is a landmass of roughly around 40 square miles. We're situated cozily on the north shore of Lake Grapevine, where we are the home of over 200 parks. We have an extensive trail system that is world renowned, and people come all over the country to come to and enjoy our trail system. And we can't do it without our local folks and our award prestige winning staff that are here today. Today we have in the gallery our great mayor, Cheryl Moore. We have Councilman Adam Schiestel, Councilwoman Ann Martin, and I saw Town Manager James Childers. I don't see him now, but he's up there somewhere. I just want to say welcome to your state capitol. Have a great day.
The chair recognizes Ms. Flores for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, please join me in honoring District 51 constituent and East Austin native Berta Rendon Delgado on the occasion of her retirement from the City of Austin Community Development Commission. Residents of East Austin have long known Berta as an advocate for culture and education. She has been active with preserving East Austin's murals as part of Arte Tejas and attempting to prevent the closure of the area's schools with Save East Austin School, both groups she founded. She served as community liaison for the University of Texas at Austin, chair of the Austin Independent School District's Equity Advisory Committee, and a member of the district's Art Task Force Committee. Among many other awards and honors, she was named as a Woman of the Year for the state of Texas in 2022 by the League of United Latin American Citizens, LULAC. Today, we are commemorating her retirement from the City of Austin Community Development Commission. Please join me in congratulating Berta for a decade of serving underprivileged communities. Thank you, Berta, for being here. Welcome to your Texas house, and congratulations, and thank you for all you do for our community.
The chair recognizes Mr. Manuel for recognition.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker and members. I want to recognize the Texas Prevention Network. They're over here. The Texas Prevention Network is an organization that's dedicated to keeping children and families safe, and they coordinate with groups like Any Baby Can and Buckners of Beaumont, and they're on the front lines of keeping Texans and Texas family and children safe. And I know I speak for the rest of my colleagues, but me personally, thank you so much for what you do, because without healthy families, we will not have a healthy Texas. And thank you so much. Please stand up. Thank you all.
The chair recognizes Mr. Cook for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I would like to take the opportunity to recognize a few individuals from the city of Mansfield. We have the mayor of Mansfield right there, Michael Evans, city managers Joe Smolinski, and economic development director Jason Moore. They were in town for the governor's press conference that just took place over at the mansion, where the governor just celebrated his 13th consecutive Gold Cup for bringing businesses to the state of Texas. So I just wanted to recognize these individuals from the city of Mansfield, and to also congratulate Crystal Windows on their award from the Economic Development Director's office, and to thank their office for everything that's been done. So thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you joining in the Capitol.
The chair recognizes Mr. Guillen for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, today we recognize the rich history and bright future of Floresville, a community deeply rooted in Texas heritage. Established in 1867 and later becoming the Wilson County seat in 1873, Floresville has long been a center of agriculture, commerce, and culture in South Texas. The arrival of the San Antonio and Aransas Pass Railway in the early 20th century brought new growth and economic development, solidifying Floresville's role as a regional hub. By 1915, the town had earned its title as the peanut capital of Texas, a distinction it still proudly holds today. Since 1938, the community has celebrated this legacy with the annual Floresville Peanut Festival, an event that brings together more than 10,000 visitors each year to honor the town's agricultural roots and vibrant community spirit. Today, Floresville remains a thriving center for farmers, ranchers, and entrepreneurs who are dedicated to building a prosperous future while preserving the town's rich traditions. It is this dedication that continues to make Floresville a special part of Texas. Members, up in the gallery, we have Mayor Pro Tem Marisa Jimenez, Floresville EDC President Ray Lamberth, EDC Board Member Ben Lamberth, EDC Assistant Director Charlotte Jimenez Nelson, Floresville City Finance Director Cynthia Sturm, Floresville City Secretary Evelyn Garcia, and the President and CEO of the Conley Memorial Medical Center, Bob Gillespie. Members, please join me in a round of applause as we welcome our distinguished delegation from Floresville to their state capital on Floresville Day.
Members, I want to take just a second to recognize a couple of birthdays that we have tomorrow and Saturday. Tomorrow is Representative Denise Villalobos and Armando Wally's birthdays, and Saturday is Giovanni Capriglione's birthdays. Happy birthday.
Members, we are ready to begin the consideration of the congratulatory calendar. Please take your seats or take your conversations outside the rail. The chair lays before the House the following congratulatory resolutions. The clerk will read the resolutions.
HCR 21 by Craddock, Dennis Johnson. HCR 22 by Craddock, James Olson. HCR 23 by Craddock, Kathy Shannon. HCR 24 by Craddock, C. Richard Dick Sivals. HCR 25 by Craddock, Midland Festival Ballet. HCR 26 by Craddock, Stuart Doreen. HCR 27 by Craddock, Leticia Demas. HCR 31 by Craddock, Junior League of Midland. HCR 41 by Craddock, Bill and Susan Granberry. HCR 42 by Craddock, W.E. Cannell. HCR 43 by Craddock, Jack D. Hightower. HCR 44 by Craddock, Autry C. Stevens. HCR 45 by Craddock, Peggy Case Worthington. HCR 52 by Craddock, Carlton and Linda Beal. HCR 53 by Smithy, Canyon High School. HCR 66 by Craddock, Tevis and Patricia Hurd. HCR 67 by Craddock, David M. Cabos. HCR 73 by Metcalf, Montgomery County Veterans Memorial Commission. HR 8 by Morales of Harris, Fort Cavazos. HR 10 by Morales of Harris, Adon Medrano. HR 13 by Morales of Maverick, United Warrior Band. HR 20 by Cole, Ebenezer Third Baptist Church. HR 21 by Cole, Aditya R. Bhatt. HR 50 by Leo Wilson, Education Foundations. HR 59 by Raymond Jose D. Oliverdes. HR 61 by Leo Wilson, University of Texas Medical Branch at Galveston. HR 71 by Collier, Biaria E. Tacaria Cortez. HR 74 by Darby Merle Truesdale. HR 79 by Harris, City of Palestine. HR 84 by Lopez of Cameron, Michael Kester. HR 86 by Collier, Panther City Barbecue. HR 90 by Bumgarner, Chloe Beck, Gregory Klein. HR 91 by Fasut, Brazos Wood High School. HR 102 by Harris Davila, Greater Taylor Chamber of Commerce. HR 103 by Harris Davila, Texas Baptist Children's Home. HR 107 by Leo Wilson, Galveston Regional Chamber of Commerce. HR 113 by Hunter, Leadership Corpus Christi Day. HR 125 by Johnson, Rice University. HR 126 by Longoria, Gabriela Garza. HR 132 by Bella Kaufman, Tyler Wade. HR 142 by Fairleigh, Lenora C. Pettit. HR 145 by Fasut Patricia Trish Thompson. HR 149 by Lujan Maria Guzman. HR 150 by Lujan Suzanne Kenorier. HR 152 by Vo Alif Early College High School. HR 167 by Martinez Fisher Holmes High School. HR 179 by Leo Wilson Bond Temps Ruler Cajun Throwdown Barbecue and Crawfish Cook-Off. HR 181 by Munoz Tyke and Nancy Kim. HR 183 by Darby David Winfield Kalam. HR 186 by Hull Westlake Fire Department. HR 192 by Lujan Shirts Cibolo Universal City ISD. HR 196 by Kitzman Austin County 4-H Livestock Quiz Bowl Team. HR 199 by Guerra Manuel M. Vela. HR 207 by Harless Elwood Woody Mitchell. HR 211 by Johnson The Lighthouse of Houston. HR 212 by Johnson Christine Wan. HR 213 by Johnson Rashmi Road. HR 216 by Romero Latin Express. HR 249 by Hickland University of Mary Hardin Baylor. HR 256 by Bojani Harmony Public Schools. HR 259 by Leo Wilson East Chambers High School. HR 261 by Martinez Fisher Techno Wizards Robotics Team. HR 263 by Longoria James McAllen. HR 272 by Metcalf Montgomery ISD. HR 281 by Lujan Albert A. Reyes. HR 285 by Schaffner East Texas Poultry Festival. HR 294 by Thompson Prairie View A&M University. HR 295 by Bella Montgomery Tommy Gage. HR 300 by Gonzalez of Dallas Selena Tania Perez. HR 305 by Tepper Ann Manning. HR 311 by Lujan Fire in the Hole Barbecue Cook-Off. HR 313 by Lujan Robert Garza. HR 315 by Flores Buenos Aires Cafe. HR 316 by Leo Wilson Scott Campbell. HR 323 by Guerra Rose Guerra Reina. HR 331 by Perez of Harris Joe E. Ramirez. HR 339 by Leach Sergio Garcia. HR 340 by Buckley Bartlett High School. HR 346 by Anchia United Way of Metropolitan Dallas. HR 349 by Cole Huston Tillotson University. HR 352 by Leo Wilson Texas First Insurance. HR 357 by Busey Andrea Richardson. HR 358 by Leo Wilson Chris Bauer. HR 360 by Martinez Half. HR 363 by Curry Midway ISD. HR 374 by Simmons Jack Yates High School. HR 377 by Wilson Elaine Mingus. HCR 20 by Craddock Matthew Travis Stice. HCR 28 by Craddock Autry Carl Stevens. HCR 30 by Craddock Frank Farrell Davis. HCR 32 by Craddock Lehman Barlett Bart Hotchkiss. HCR 49 by Fasut, U.S. Army veteran Clarence Eugene Sasser. HR 14 by Raymond Judge Morris L. Overstreet. HR 15 by Raymond Peggy Jean Newman. HR 19 by Cole William Matthew Bigar. HR 23 by Cole Chris Riley. HR 24 by Cole John Brotherton. HR 25 by Cole musician W.C. Clark. HR 26 by Cole Aurora LaShawn Duke. HR 27 by Cole Lindsey Captain McNair. HR 29 by Cole Albert Black. HR 47 by Cole Dale Woodkey. HR 48 by Cole Julian Bose Alexander Bibby. HR 55 by Lopez Cameron Maria Ninfa Cantu de La Garza. HR 56 by Lopez Cameron Jose Joji Garcia Gonzalez. HR 66 by Buckley Anthony Dale Dunn. HR 85 by Lujan Crystal Garcia Mendoza. HR 92 by Vasut Sharon Lee Hoff Stewart. HR 93 by Choxclair Indus Sorrells Williams. HR 95 by Lujan Andrew W. Villarreal. HR 96 by Lambert Gilbert J. Riojas III. HR 140 by Vasut Deputy Jesus Jesse Vargas. HR 155 by Hefner George James Brown. HR 164 by Troxclair John Russell Baker.
Is there any objection to the adoption of the resolutions? The chair hears none. The resolutions are adopted. Members, please take your seats. We are ready to begin the consideration of the memorial calendar. The chair lays before the House the following memorial resolutions. The clerk will read the resolutions.
HCR 20 by Craddock, Matthew Travis Stice. HCR 28 by Craddock, Autry Carl Stevens. HCR 30 by Craddock, Frank Farrell Davis. HCR 32 by Craddock, Lehman Barlett Bart Hotchkiss, HCR 49 by Basut, U.S. Army veteran Clarence Eugene Sasser, HR 14 by Raymond Judge Morris L. Overstreet, HR 15 by Raymond Peggy Jean Newman, HR 19 by Cole William Matthew Bigar, HR 23 by Cole Chris Riley, HR 24 by Cole John Brotherton, HR 25 by Cole musician W.C. Clark, HR 26 by Cole Arara LaShawn Duke, HR 27 by Cole Lindsey Captain McNair, HR 29 by Cole Albert Black, HR 47 by Cole Dale Woodkey, HR 48 by Cole Julian Bose Alexander Bibby, HR 55 by Lopez Cameron Maria Ninfa Cantu de la Garza, HR 56 by Lopez Cameron Jose Joji Garcia Gonzalez, HR 66 by Buckley Anthony Dale Dunn, HR 85 by Lujan Crystal Garcia Mendoza, HR 92 by Basut Sharon Leah Hoff Stewart, HR 93 by Troxclair Indus Sorrells Williams, HR 95 by Lujan Andrew H. Villarreal, HR 96 by Lambert Gilbert J. Riojas III, HR 140 by Basut Deputy Jesus Jesse Vargas, HR 155 by Hefner George James Brown, HR 164 by Troxclair John Russell Baker, HR 204 by Villalobos Santos Saenz Alvarado, HR 241 by Raymond Sergeant Roberto Manuel Castillo, HR 242 by Raymond Margaret Mary Paraguay, HR 250 by Lujan Michael V. Pullen, HR 253 by Leo Wilson, John Lee Sullivan, HR 260 by Martinez Fisher, Bianca Elise Ambriz, HR 262 by Villalobos, Azucena Tena Rodriguez Barrera, HR 265 by Buckley William Perry Cloud, HR 279 by Vandiver, former State Representative Barry Bradford Telford, HR 310 by Howard, former State Representative James Parker McCullough, HR 312 by Lujan Adon Sanchez Cardenas, HR 328 by Spiller Benjamin J. Thompson Henderson, HR 332 by Longoria George S. Cavasso Sr., HR 359 by Wu Sarah Botticelli Collier, HR 362 by Spiller Jack County Commissioner Kenny Salazar, HR 367 by Moody Carl Allen McElhaney.
All those in favor of adoption of the resolutions, please rise. The resolutions are unanimously adopted. Harris moves to add all names to HR 279 and 310. Any objection? Chair is none. It's ordered.
The chair recognizes Ms. Cole for an announcement.
Members, today we are having Bible study conducted by Pastor Walls at 3W.9 upon adjournment.
The chair recognizes Ms. Bowers for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, don't forget today the Mental Health and Wellness Committee is having a presentation by the Executive Director of the American Psychiatric Association Foundation with a reception immediately following in the extension room E1014 at 4 p.m. Please join us for the presentation. Thank you.
Members, the Speaker's desk is clear except for bill referrals. If you have any announcements, please bring them down front. The following bills and resolutions on first reading and referral to committee. The clerk will read the bills and resolutions.
HB 12 by Bella Kaufman relating to the review and audit of certain state agency operations referred to the Committee on Delivery of Government Efficiency, HB 1226. HB 26 by Hull relating to the requirement contracts with Medicaid managed care organizations to permit the organization to offer nutrition, counseling, and instruction services in lieu of other state Medicaid plan services, referred to the Committee on Human Services. HB 75 by Smithy relating to the release of defendants on bail, the duties of the magistrate in certain criminal proceedings, and the regulation of charitable bail organizations, referred to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 76 by Smithy relating to the use of political subdivision of public funds to pay bail bonds, referred to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 140 by Noble relating to the creation of the Child and Audit Protective Investigation Advisory Committee in the Department of Family and Protective Services, referred to the Committee on Human Services. HB 141 by Manuel relating to the adoption of the revised interstate compact for the placement of children by the state of Texas, making conforming changes, referred to the Committee on Human Services. HB 142 by Noble relating to the administration authority and the duties of the Health and Human Services Commission officer to inspect general inspection, referred to the Committee on Human Services. HB 200 by Buckley relating to the jury instructions regarding parole eligibility and the release of parole of certain inmates convicted of any offense committed when younger than 18 years of age, changing parole eligibility, referred to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 876 by Leilani relating to the establishment of certain information sharing and analysis organization by the Department of Information Resources, referred to the Committee on Delivery of Government Efficiency. HB 877 by Moody relating to the prohibiting the transfer of certain firearm magazines to certain recipients or creating a criminal offense, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 878 by Visu relating to the regulation of residential land use in accessory dwellings units by political subdivisions, authorizing a fee, referred to the Committee on Land and Resource Management. HB 879 by Frank relating to the licensing of certain military veterans as healthcare providers, referred to the Committee on Public Health. HB 880 by Leilani relating to the porting and certain information regarding medically necessary debt on the consumer report, referred to the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. 881 by Thompson relating to the progressive and disciplinary matrix for police officers' misconduct in certain municipalities, referred to the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs. HB 882 by Reynolds relating to the building codes applicable in unincorporated areas of a county, authorizing a fee, referred to the Committee on Land and Resource Management. HB 883 by Moody relating to the requiring of a licensed firearm dealer to report certain sales of transfers of multiple firearms of firearms magazines to law enforcement, creating a criminal offense, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 884 by Garcia Hernandez relating to the municipal sites and uses for tax street maintenance, referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 888 by Leilani relating to the Medicaid coverage reimbursement for emergency outpatient dialysis treatment provided to certain individuals with end-stage retinal disease, referred to the Subcommittee on Disease Prevention and Women and Children's Health. HB 886 by Vasut relating to the one-time supplemental payment of benefits under the Employees Retirement System of Texas, referred to the Committee on Pensions, Investments, and Financial Services. HB 887 by Howard relating to the endometriosis and menstrual disorders education and informational materials for public school students, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 888 by Thompson relating to the duty of a peace officer to request and render aid for an injured person, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 889 by Moody relating to the prosecution and punishment of the offense of making a firearm accessible to a child, increasing a criminal penalty, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 890 by Vasut relating to the administration of assessment instructions to public school students, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 891 by Leilani relating to a Texas solution to reforming and addressing issues related to the Medicaid program, including the creation of an alternative program designated to ensure health benefit plan coverage to certain low-income individuals through the private marketplace, requiring a fee, referred to the Committee on Human Services. HB 892 by Kane relating to the requiring a person to submit proof of citizenship in order to register to vote, referred to the Committee on Elections. HB 893 by Moody relating to extreme risk protective orders creating criminal offenses, referred to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 894 by Reynolds relating to the acceptance of identification for voters who identify as transgender, referred to the Committee on Elections. HB 895 by Leilani relating to the development and implementation of the Live Well Texas program and the expansion of Medicaid eligibility to provide health benefit coverage to certain individuals, imposing penalties, referred to the Subcommittee on Disease Prevention, Women, and Children's Health. HB 896 by Thompson relating to the prohibition of the use of a neck restraint by a police officer during a search or arrest, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 897 by Howard relating to the authorizing the sale of the state of Texas of certain real property located in Austin, Texas, referred to the Committee on Land and Resource Management. HB 898 by Spiller relating to the Texas Sovereignty Act, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 899 by Jones of Harris relating to the administration of medication to certain persons in custody of a sheriff, referred to the Subcommittee on County and Regional Government. HB 901 by Harrison relating to the limitation of the salary paid to officers and employees of the state and political subdivisions of the state, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 902 by Thompson relating to the powers and duties of the peace officers, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 903 by Moody relating to the repeal of the offense of homosexual conduct, referred to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 904 by Kane relating to the prohibition of tolls portions of the State Highway 146 and State Highway 99, referred to the Subcommittee on Transportation Funding. HB 905 by Kane relating to the imposition of tolls to the Fairmount Parkway in Harris County, referred to the Subcommittee on Transportation Funding. HB 906 by Shaheen relating to the temporary teaching certification of certain military service members and first responders, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 907 by Moody relating to the requirement that certain persons, students, interns, residents, and fellows receiving a clinical education at public or nonprofit hospitals be provided leave to undergo an annual comprehensive health examination, referred to the Committee on Public Health. HB 908 by Spiller relating to the reporting of law enforcement agencies of missing children in the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 909 by Thompson relating to the law enforcement misconduct and law enforcement interactions of certainly detained or arrested individuals and other members of the public to the public entity liability of those interactions to the confinement, conviction, or release or detained of those arrested individuals, referred to the Committee of Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 910 by Diallo relating to the venue of the prosecution of an election offense, referred to the Committee on Elections. HB 911 by Kane relating to the designation of the celebration of Life Day as a state holiday, referred to the Committee on Delivery of Government Efficiency. HB 912 by Moody relating to the compensation of the distributed renewable generation owner in certain areas outside of ERCOT, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 913 by Frank relating to certain state hospital names and management of state hospitals, referred to the Committee on Public Health. HB 914 by Thompson relating to repealing civil assets for forfeiture provisions and establishing criminal assets forfeitures in the state, referred to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 915 by Kane relating to the repeal of the authority of the commanding officer of the state militia to prohibit the sale of the exchange of firearms, munitions, or explosives, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 916 by Harrison relating to the tracking, reporting, and disposition of proceeds and property from the assets forfeiture proceedings under the Code of Criminal Procedures, referred to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 917 by Spiller relating to the district or county attorney participating at a counsel on certain proceedings, referred to the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 918 by Scofio relating to the authority of a property owners association to regulate the assembly, association, and speech of property owners or residents, referred to the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 919 by Harrison relating to the offense of unlawful use of public funds for communications relating to a measure, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 920 by Gunner relating to the exemption sales and uses of firearms and ammunitions and other related items, referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 921 by Kane relating to statutory damages and actions brought against social media users against social media platforms for prohibited censorship, referred to the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 922 by Vasuit relating to the residents for purposes of voting and other matters affecting a candidate's eligibility, referred to the Committee on Elections. HB 923 by Garcia Hernandez relating to the Texas Medical Disclosure Panel, referred to the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 924 by Schofield relating to the location where certain sales are disseminated for purposes of local sales and use taxes, referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 925 by Kane relating to the applicability of a defense to the prosecution of the offense relating to carrying a handgun in certain prohibited locations in the repealing association notice requirements, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 926 by Harrison relating to the adoption and avoidability of certain rules proposed by state agency, referred to the Committee on Government Efficiency. HB 927 by Kane relating to the interpretation of certain laws protecting the free exercise of religion, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 928 by Kane relating to tuition and fee bills of billing statements provided to students of public education institutions of higher education, referred to the Committee on Higher Education. HB 929 by Harrison relating to prohibiting a school district from procuring training, insurance products, and the risk pool participation, good or supplies from a buy board, and any investment or professional services for certain nonprofit associations or organizations, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 930 by Kane relating to the requirements of the activation of the Texas National Guard's active combat duty, referred to the Subcommittee on Defense and Veterans Affairs. HB 931 by Vasuit relating to the creation and dissolution of common marriage, referred to the Subcommittee on Family and Fiduciary Relationships. HB 932 by Wally relating to the Occupational Therapy Licensure Compact, authorizing fees, referred to the Committee on Public Health. HB 933 by Spiller relating to the jurisdiction of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of the Appeals, referred to the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 934 by Kane relating to the eligibility to vote in certain primary elections, referred to the Committee on Elections. HB 935 by Harrison relating to the appointment of certain executive heads of state agencies and employees reporting to those executive heads, referred to the Committee of Delivery of Government Efficiency. HB 936 by Joseph Harris relating to the withdrawal or revocation of student athletic scholarship of public institutions of higher education on the basis of a student's athlete's injury, illness, or disability, referred to the Committee on Public Higher Education. HB 937 by Goodwin relating to the procedure for which certain special districts are required to provide a notice for certain manners, referred to the Committee on Natural Resources. HB 938 by Toth relating to the cause of action for drag act performances in the presence of a minor, refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 939 by Vasuit relating to the liability limit for non-economic damages for personal injury claims, refer to the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 940 by Harrison relating to the decisions of an administrative law of the State Office of Administrative Hearings in contested cases, refer to the Committee on Delivery of Government Efficiency. HB 941 by Kane relating to the resilience of the electric grid in certain municipalities, refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 942 by Toth relating to the public school classroom safety review and the referral programs for students who engage in violent criminal conduct creating a criminal offense, refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 943 943 by Kane relating to the informed consent before the provision of certain medical treatments involving the COVID-19 vaccination referred to the Committee on Public Health. As HB 944 by Harrison relating to the establishment of Legislative Economic Analysis Unit and the expiration of certain agency rules referred to the Committee on Delivery of Government Efficiency. HB 945 by Spiller relating to the authority of a justice of the peace to issue a search warrant and a collect of a blood specimen of a person's arrest of certain intoxicating criminal offenses referred to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 946 by Garcia Hernandez relating to prohibiting oral releases of automobile insurance claims referred to the Committee on Insurance. HB 947 by Toth relating to the affirmative decisions of the prosecution of certain offenses involving material or conduct that is obscene or otherwise harmful to children referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 948 by Harrison relating to the required posting of a government entities or employee contracts to the compensation of NCT internet websites referred to the Committee on Delivery of Government Efficiency. HB 949 by Toth relating to the employee's right to privacy of personal health information providing a civil penalty referred to the Subcommittee on Workforce. HB 950 by Hayes relating to the provision of municipal services to land annexed by the municipality for full purposes referred to the Committee on Land and Resource Management. HB 951 by Schofield relating to requiring a voter to be affiliated with a political party in order to vote in a party's primary election or otherwise participate in a party's affairs, creating a criminal offense referred to the Committee on Elections. HB 952 by Toth relating to the identification of early voting ballots mailed by electronic code referred to the Committee on Elections. HB 953 by Harrison relating to the prohibition of the receipt of bonds proceeds by a person who makes a contribution to certain political committees referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 954 by Spiller relating to the authority of a county to cancel subdivisions in extraterrestrial jurisdictions of a municipality referred to the Committee on Land and Resource Management. HB 955 by Toth relating to the requirement that an election for a member of the Board of Trustees of an independent school district is partisan referred to the Committee on Elections. HB 956 by Garcia Hernandez relating to the reporting of certain orders and convictions of the Department of Public Safety and Federal Bureau of Investigation for use in National Instant Criminal Background Check for the system of transfer of firearms referred to the Committee of Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 957 by Toth relating to the requirements of the physical presence of a borrower for signing certain documents related to a home equity loan referred to the Committee on Pensions, Investments, and Financial Services. HB 958 by Toth relating to the district or county attorney participating as counsel in certain proceedings in a federal court referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 959 by Schofield relating to the date of the primary election runoff referred to the Committee on Elections. HB 960 by Toth relating to the limitations or certain state and local taxes, including school districts, maintenance and operations ad valorem taxes, the enhancement of state and local taxes added, and related school finance reform imposing taxes referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 961 by Harrison relating to the use of automatic license plate readers by law enforcement agencies referred to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 962 by Toth relating to the required submission of a vaccine injury reports to the Federal Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System referred to the Committee on Public Health. HB 963 by Toth relating to the limitations on increasing the appraised value of a residential homestead for ad valorem tax purposes referred to the Subcommittee on Property Tax Appraisals. HB 964 by Harrison relating to the regulation of laboratory developed tests for a federally declared public health emergency referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 965 by Garcia Hernandez relating to the expectations to and the repeal of certain laws prohibiting abortion referred to the Committee on Public Health. HB 966 by Toth relating to the notice regarding certain benefits for which a representative payee or fiduciary has been appointed for a child in a conservatorship of the Department of Family and Protective Services referred to the Committee on Human Services. HB 967 by Toth relating to a study of the prevalence of the use of psychoactive or psychotropic medication by persons who have committed suicide referred to the Committee on Public Health. HB 968 by Toth relating to the processes to address election irregularities, providing a criminal penalty referred to the Committee on Elections. HB 969 by Garcia Hernandez relating to the applicability of opening meetings law and the public information law to the Texas Energy Reliability Council and the independent organizations established by managed power regions referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 970 by Harrison relating to the application of prescription drug price reductions, imposing a civil penalty referred to the Committee on Insurance. HB 971 by Toth relating to the use of a high occupancy vehicle lane to pass certain vehicles referred to the Committee on Transportation. HB 972 by Noble relating to the exemption from ad valorem taxation of a portion of the appraised value of the property other than a residential homestead that is a primary residence of an adult who has an intellectual developmental disability who must be related to the owner or the trustee of a property with a certain degree of consanguinity referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 973 by Noble relating to prohibiting a court, administrative agency, or other tribunal from requiring certain amendments to the public school students' permanent record referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 974 by Baumgartner relating to a limitation on the salary of superintendents and chief executive officers of school districts and open enrollment charter schools referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 975 by Harrison relating to the right to try cutting-edge treatments for patients with life-threatening or severely debilitating illnesses, referred to the Committee on Public Health. HB 976 by Toth relating to the parental rights in public education and prohibiting certain instruction regarding sexual orientation or gender identity, authorizing a civil penalty, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 977 by Noble relating to the eligibility of the gifted and talented student allotment under the Foundation School Program, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 978 by Kane relating to prohibiting a public institution of higher education from considering an immigrant's status for purposes of institution disciplinary process, referred to the Committee on Higher Education. HB 979 by Kane relating to the determination of a resident status of students by public institutions of higher education, referred to the Committee on Higher Education. HB 980 by Toth relating to the required institutions of a person's sex on a birth certificate, referred to the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 981 by Garcia Hernandez relating to access to certain litigation, law enforcement, corrections, and prosecutorial records under the Public Information Law, referred to the Committee on Delivery of Government Efficiency. HB 982 by Wilson relating to the authority of a taxing unit other than a school district, county, municipality, or junior college to establish a limitation on the total amount of ad valorem taxes that a taxing unit may impose on the residence homestead of certain low-income individuals who are disabled or elderly or their surviving spouses, referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 983 by Noble relating to the confidentiality of certain information held by the Texas Education Agency, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 984 by Toth relating to the establishment of an empowerment scholarship account program, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 985 by Harrison relating to hospital-owned outpatient facilities, including site-neutral reimbursement rates under Medicaid, referred to the Committee on Human Services. HB 986 by Toth relating to the state savings achieved through a budget savings program administered by the Comptroller of Public Accounts, making an appropriation of a portion of those savings, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 987 by Toth relating to the time for the issuance of a municipal building permit, referred to the Committee on Land and Resource Management. HB 988 by Harrison relating to the duty of the Board of Directors of the corporation to maximize the value of the corporation's shares, referred to the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 989 by Toth relating to the process to address election irregularities and providing a civil penalty, referred to the Committee on Elections. HB 990 by Johnson relating to the eligibility of certain criminal defendants for an order of non-disclosure of criminal history record information, referred to the Committee on Corrections. HB 991 by Toth relating to abortion, including civil liability for the distribution of abortion-inducing drugs and the duties of internet service providers, creating criminal offense, authorizing a civil right of action, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 992 by Johnson relating to the eligibility for an order of non-disclosure criminal history record and certain criminal defendant who has successfully completed a specialty court program, referred to the Committee on Corrections. HB 993 by Toth relating to the time for processing a municipal building permit application, referred to the Committee on Land and Resource Management. HB 994 by Harrison relating to the issuance of a license to practice medicine to certain applicants licensed or educated in a foreign country, referred to the Committee on Public Health. HB 995 by Toth relating to the defenses of the prosecution for certain offenses involving material conduct that may be esteemed otherwise harmful to children, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 996 by Johnson relating to the eligibility of criminal defendants for an order of non-disclosure criminal history record information for certain offenses committed on younger than 25 years of age, referred to the Committee on Corrections. HB 997 by Shaheen relating to the provision of telehealth and telemedicine services by certain healthcare providers located outside of the state, requiring registration to engage in occupation, authorizing fees, referred to the Subcommittee on Disease Prevention and Women's Health and Children's Health. HB 998 by Toth relating to the authority of an individual before purchasing real property to be used as an individual's residence homestead to request the chief appraiser of the applicable appraised value of the preliminary decision of whether the property would qualify for the disabled veterans exemption if purchased by the individual and used for that purpose, referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 999 by Toth 999 by Toth, refer to the public inspection of election records, refer to the Committee on Elections. HJR 15 by Smithy proposing a constitutional amendment authorizing the denial of bail under the limited circumstances of a person accused for certain violent or sexual offenses of the continuous trafficking of a person, referred to the Committee of Criminal Jurisprudence. HJR 16 by Smithy proposing a constitutional amendment requiring the denial of bail for an illegal alien charged with an offense punishable as a felony, refer to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HJR 71 by Schofield proposing a constitutional amendment providing that a resident's homestead is not subject to seizure or sale or delinquent ad valorem sales taxes, referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. HJR 72 by Noble proposing a constitutional amendment authorizing the legislature to provide for an exemption ad valorem taxation of a portion of a market value of a property that is a residence of an adult who has an intellectual or developmental disability and who has been related to an owner or the trustee of a property with a certain degree of contiguity, referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. HJR 73 by Wilson proposing a constitutional amendment to authorize the limitation on the total amount of ad valorem taxes that a political subdivision may impose on a school district, county, municipality, or junior college district that may impose a residence homestead of certain low-income persons persons who are disabled or elderly of a surviving spouse is referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. H.J.R. 74 by Toth proposing a constitution amendment authorizing the legislature to provide the appraised value of a resident's homestead for an ad valorem tax purposes of the first tax year of the property owner of residence qualifies the property for a resident's homestead exemption in the market value of the property, and that if the property of that for that tax year, and to limit the increases in the appraised value of the homestead for the subsequent tax years based on the inflation rate for the Subcommittee on Property Tax Appraisals. H.J.R. 75 by Toth proposing a constitutional amendment authorizing the legislature to provide the exemptions to the requirement of the home equity loan that be closed only at the office of the lender, at an attorney at law, or at the title of the company, referred to the Committee on Pensions, Investment, and Financial Services. The following resolutions are being referred to the Committee on Local and Consent Calendars. H.R. 424 by Jones of Harris, H.R. 425 by Latterback. The following resolutions by Toth are being referred to the Committee on Local and Consent Calendars. H.R. 425, H.R. 428, and H.R. 432. H.R. 429 by Hicklin, H.R. 430 by Orr, H.R. 431 by Wally, H.R. 434 by Meyer, H.R. 435 by Troxclair, H.R. 438 by Lujan, H.R. 439 by Harless, H.R. 440 by Lujan.
The House will stand at ease until 2 p.m. Friday.